I'm going to ask, will everyone please rise and Scouts present the colors? Ryan Erickson is going to come forward as well. Ryan will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Scout Oath.
Troop attention. Scout salute. Pledge of Allegiance. Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scout sign. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2, post the colors at ease.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Color Guard. Please be seated. You did that so well. Will Ava Haas and Will Schneider come forward for the candle lighting ceremony?
Where's it? When the Eagle Scout badge was designed in 1912, it was decided a small silver eagle would be suspended from a tricolored ribbon of red, white, and blue, so it remains today. The color red represents the life, blood, and courage of all Scouts who commit to living by their values. The color white represents principles, cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed. Finally, the color blue represents faith, loyalty, and the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Will. Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Hickman, and I am one of Maggie's very proud two godmothers. I'm delighted to be here with all of you today. I'm delighted to welcome you to this very special Eagle Court of Honor for Margaret Braun. There are a number of special guests here this afternoon. I'd like to take a few moments to introduce them. As I say your name, would you stand so that everyone knows who you are? First, Maggie's parents, Cece and Aaron, and honored brother Cameron. Awesome, thank you. Maggie's grandmother, Betsy Braun, is here with us, as well as Maggie's uncle, Steve Wilkins, and his wife, Peggy Chen, and her Aunt Mary and Uncle Andy, and Tarsha Taylor, Maggie's other godmother. Also with us from the troop are the Troop 1B Scoutmaster and Assistant Scoutmaster, J.P. Benoit and Gary Bernklau. From Troop G, the Scoutmaster and Assistant Scoutmaster, Cece Braun and Emily Schneider. Okay, you all know them, right? The Eagle Advisor, Jeremy Ditch. Is Jeremy here? Okay. The Troop 1G Advancement Chair, Brad Wheeler. You'll hear a little bit from Brad in just a little while. And representing the sponsoring organization for Stow Troop 1, the Troop 1 Stow alumni, Mr. John Wood, who's the CFO, Casey Ruggiero, who's the president, and board members Mike Wood, Ben Tamker, and Mitch Sampson all might be here today. Awesome. Over on the far side, that group. From the Massachusetts House of Representatives, the Honorable Kate Hogan is with us, we hope. And representing the town of Stow from the Select Board, Ms. Megan McMichael. Yay. And representing the sponsoring organization for Maggie's Eagle Project, the president of the Board of Trustees for First Parish Church of Stow and Acton, Mr. Brendan Chetwynd. We'd also like to welcome all other troop committee members, Mayflower Council of Scouting America participants, and all Eagle Scouts here to welcome Maggie into their community. On behalf of Maggie and her family, thank you all, and all of you, for being here. I would now like to ask the Reverend Cindy Landrum to give the invocation.
Welcome to this day. Today is a day of rejoicing and a day of celebration. It is a day of honoring and awarding after hard work done. So in this special time, as we lift up our gratitude, our joy, and our celebration to that which is most holy, I want to begin by lifting up the religious and civic values that have been shown by this scout, Maggie Braun. In this faith of this church, we hold up the values of equity, shown here by our first girl Eagle Scout in Stow, a historic moment. We lift up the value of interdependence and generosity, shown through the wonderful project of the little lending library that Maggie built and installed here at First Parish Church. But most of all, I want to lift up the value of transformation today, because this process is a process of transformation, of displaying civic virtue and hard work done and generosity. And it brings about transformation in the Scout, but it also brings about transformation in the entire community. And as we lift up these values to that which is most high, so we celebrate and give thanks together. Welcome, therefore, to this day. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Landrum. To put the Eagle Scout rank in perspective, let me share some background from the National Eagle Scout Association. Because many of you are Eagle Scouts or know about Eagle Scouts, but many of you have only heard that phrase. The Eagle Scout Award is Scouting's highest rank and among its most familiar icons. The Scouts who have earned it count it among their most treasured possessions throughout their lives. Those who missed it by a whisker remember exactly what requirements and badges they didn't finish. Americans from all walks of life know that being an Eagle Scout is a great honor, even if they don't recognize the badge or know exactly what the badge means. The award is much more than a badge. It is a state of being. You are an Eagle Scout, never were an Eagle Scout. You may have received the badge as a teenager, but you earn it every day throughout your life. In the words of the Eagle Scout Promise, you do your best each day to make your training and example, your rank and your influence, count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in your troop, in your community, and in your contacts with other people. A pretty impressive thing to hold at your core. In scouting, the Eagle stands for strength of character and for knowledge of all phases of scouting. It represents an understanding of community and nation and a deep respect for both. The Eagle represents many years of dedicated effort and the successful completion of a long process that started when a young person joins scouting. From 1912 to 2008, more than 2 million scouts earned the Eagle Scout rank. That sounds like a really big number until you learn that this is out of roughly 45 million, at that point young men, who were involved with scouting over that same period. The Eagle Scout rank is earned by only 5% of scouting participants. Troop 1 Stow, impressively, has a much higher than average rate of Eagles, more like 10%. Maggie is the 99th Scout to be awarded the rank of Eagle as a member of Troop 1 since this troop was formed in 1912, organized by the Reverend Claude Calkins of the Union Evangelical Church. The original charter document for Troop 1 Stow includes the signatures of President Woodrow Wilson, William Howard Taft, and Theodore Roosevelt. Scouting was opened to include girls in 2019, really recently. Maggie Braun is the first female member of Troop 1 to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. She joins a small but extraordinary group nationwide. Since 2019, only 6,000 young women have earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Myra Plant, one of the early female Eagle Scouts, said, "Girls can do this too. We're strong. We can make an impact. What a scout is not a boy or a girl. A scout is a scout because of their values, because of what they want to do in the world, and not because of their gender. This is particularly true of Scout Maggie Braun." Honor Guard, also known as Proud Brother Cameron, please escort before this court of honor Eagle candidate Margaret Braun. At this time, I'd like to introduce Emily Schneider, Assistant Scoutmaster of Troop 1 Stow, who will officially open this Eagle Court of Honor. There you are.
Thank you, Amanda. Good afternoon, honored guests, ladies, gentlemen, and scouts. My name is Emily Schneider, and I'm the Assistant Scoutmaster of Troop 1 Stow. It's my pleasure to be here on this very special Eagle Court of Honor. Today we have the honor of recognizing Maggie Braun for the award of Eagle Scout. Maggie's parents and Scout leaders have labored long and faithfully to develop her towards the responsible citizenship through the Scouting America program. Their efforts now culminate in the presentation of the Eagle Award. The success of these efforts, however, will be manifested in the way that this new Eagle sets a social pattern for the lives of those she touches. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor Scouting America, I hereby declare this Eagle Court of Honor opened.
Thank you, Emily. Next, I'd like to ask Mr. Brad Wheeler to introduce the rank presentations.
I'd like to take a few minutes to describe the path that Maggie followed on her way to the Eagle rank. The pathway to Eagle can be likened to a steep trail leading up to 3 progressively higher peaks, the highest being that of the Eagle Scout. Officially, the trail starts with the Scout rank, continues through tenderfoot, second class, and then first class ranks. Then the climb really begins. The path is marked with merit badges, leadership responsibilities, service projects, and the practice of scouting skills and ideals. The first peak that is reached is that of Star Scout, the second of Life Scout, and then finally Eagle Scout. As the advancement chair, I'd like to describe some of what Maggie did to complete her Eagle Scout rank. She was active in the troop for at least 6 months after earning the rank of Life Scout. She earned 23 merit badges. She served at least 6 months in a troop leadership position as the patrol leader and scribe. She did 2 high adventure canoe trips and was excited to be going to Glacier National Park with the troop in 2026. She planned, developed, and gave leadership to others in an approved Eagle Scout project. And her project was to design and build and provision a little library for the town of Stow, which you passed on your way into the church. To complete her project, Maggie showed the ability to plan a project, lead others in carrying it out, and Maggie had to obtain multiple approvals from various folks prior to beginning the project, and she worked closely with First Parish Church and Butler Lumber in that. Maggie then participated in a Scoutmasters Conference. She was reviewed by a board which included representatives from the Mayflower Council as well as members of Troop 1 Stow.
Now for a less formal look through Maggie's journey to this day, Gary Bernclau would like to present a slideshow. Over to you.
You're going to have to go over there, yes.
Yeah, so you can see.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to go over there. It is a tradition in Troop 1 Stow to have a brief review of the candidate's history with the unit, and we focus solely on scouting activities, so there's no embarrassing photos from the family or anything like that in here. So without further ado, we'll present Maggie's life journey on the way to an Eagle Scout. No idea what's going on, but She's come a long way since the early non-scouting days, right? Now, the great thing about this is I can reuse some of these when Cameron gets his Eagle Scout badge, too. Fantastic. Here we go. One thing I will say is a lot of the pictures I have of Maggie involve food. We'll see that in a little bit as well. But this one's by itself. And fabulous. And again, Cameron, these are going to come back up. You just know it. So. Yeah, they're not all embarrassing. Some of them are cute, I have to admit. The craw. Good ones. A surprising number of you two together liking each other, which I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they never had pictures like this. So, yeah, well. I don't know if you can read that. It says, most camp-spirited Maggie. But you did start your journey in the Girl Scout organization as a Daisy, and if I have my ranks right, that's the blue is Daisy, right? All right, I nailed it. All right. So prior to Scouts BSA allowing girls in 2019, all of their adventures at this age were done all solely on the Girl Scout side of things. But that didn't stop Maggie from actually participating with the troop, especially on Memorial Day when we got rained out one year and ended up having a Memorial Day ceremony in the community center as a Daisy Scout. And quite the adventures you had as a Daisy. Your dad getting you to do his work for him. That's fantastic. That's a great picture. Yeah, the one, I wish I had a pointer because the one in the middle there on the left kind of missed. Like the cucumbers are on her temples. I don't know. Pretty classic. That could be an album cover for a Stow country band right there. And Cameron in the background, lurking in the background. Yeah. Several of those also. Again, doing manual labor. Can't get enough of it. And Cameron lurking in the background. And transition into brownies. This is Memorial Day Parade, I believe. It has to be because it's raining. So, yeah. Yep, definitely Memorial Day. That's Phil Mosley, one of our town veterans. Oh, is Phil here? Oh. Oh. Oh, there he is. And this is actually planting flags on Memorial Day for our veterans. And I hate to burst your bubble, but that snake is hurting. That snake is not doing well. Very flat. She's always intensely happy. I will note that as well. A gorilla, is this Worcester? Is that Worcester? Oh, Franklin Park, okay. And not really supposed to have a chinchilla on your face, but whatever. No idea what's going on here, but you succeeded, so. I see knots up there, but I could not tell what kind of knots they were, so. I don't know if they would have passed my muster, but. Supervisor, in charge of everybody else. This is a crossover ceremony into, what's the next after brownies? Juniors? Where you get green vests, right? And Representative Hogan, who is here. We recognized you earlier, Kate, sorry. Some kind of an award. Ah, okay. That's your crossover bridge, right? So I apologize, I don't know much about what's going on in this program, so I just kind of make up my own theories. Yep. Broadway show. And of course, the ubiquitous cookies, which you still do, and that I appreciate. Laura's here. And you are still active, essentially, yes. Yep. A little out of focus, but that's all right. Fabulous, once again. And more cookies, a lot of cookies. Yeah, I eat a lot of cookies, so we're good. As one does. So that's awesome. A pizza tour in Boston. But you had other interests, obviously. This is in your civilian life. You have other interests that we're not here to judge. I'm just, it's the only reason I put that in there. The old significant someone dance, daddy-daughter dance, me and my special someone dance, which we just held again. And again, very happy, very happy. That's quite the look on the face. Were those required? Face masks like that? Boy, they look like they would hurt if you got hit there. I'm going to assume that's Maggie. It's a great shot. There's one of Cameron too, but it's not anywhere near as good. So I left that one out. Super happy, and again, Cam in the background. I'm just going to reuse the slideshow, the whole thing, next year. Oh, God. You look stuck in the mud. Now this one, I saw this one, I thought, that reminds me of something. I couldn't place it. I couldn't figure out what it was. But then it came to me. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. That's actually a good photo. There you go. Bring it back down to earth. Super happy skiing. I was going to say, I'm going to go on a limb and say you don't know how to ice skate all that well. I'm just looking at the lines in the ice behind you, and I don't know how you can physically make those marks that sharp like that. There you go. That's a lady slipper right there. But right around this time, you actually joined the troupe, right? So we actually have, you sleeping. We have a montage of you sleeping. An awful lot of pictures of Maggie falling asleep. Anywhere and everywhere, much like your Scoutmaster JP can do. He'll just fall asleep anywhere. That's why I put those in there. Now, the other pictures that I have of you was literally food. You like food, you like making food, you like giving food away. So there's about 1,000 pictures of you with food. Lots and lots of food. And I couldn't decide which one to put in. So. And that was about half of all the pictures I have of you around food. So, no idea, but again, that you're pretty happy about it. You know what you're doing. Friendship bracelets. I will say, when you did join the troop on one of your first outings, I ended up getting a friendship bracelet, which I'd never gotten from a scout before. So, there's that. I don't know what's going on here, but it's definitely not a good picture of you. This is one of your first outings. Or, yeah, that's Nantucket, where you're cooking pasta, obviously. This is at summer camp. And again, an unusual scene. We typically, in JP's and in our history with, scouts at camp, we never see them walking up to the dining hall hugging each other. Doesn't happen. Till now. This is also at summer camp. This is also at summer camp. They're carrying the shovel to the ceremony, the camp shovel that is given away to the most spirited unit, and everybody has to add something to the shovel. So over the course of the week, somebody added a canoe to it, and somebody, yeah. You're teaching Jackie something. And Jackie with the blue lips, I don't know what she's doing, but trying to learn knots. There you go. And I kept this one in there strictly because it has JP in the background, trying to ignore both of you. Polar bear swim, your polar bear swim patches at camp. The rifle range director, the range director at the camp, who fell in love with Maggie because she was so good. I mean, really good. She won the Top Shot Award for the camp. That she tried to get a picture with JP, but he was leaving. So he just said, I'm leaving. Take a picture through the window. I'm done. I've been here a week with these people. This is actually Mass Jam, the most recent Mass Jam down on the Cape. Group photo with the G Troop, who actually won the Spirit Award at some point this weekend, right? I don't know, I was working the camporee side, but you won something. In between stealing stuff, you stole this sign, admit it, you guys stole the Mass Jam sign, you swiped it, and then you took pictures with it. Yep, you stole it. This is another Memorial Day parade. Tony's here. I see Tony walking right now from the crew, 1923. And this is you reading the names at Memorial Day, which is a very impressive thing to do, by the way. So thank you. You helped me out that day. This is your weather rock. That was a camp gadget that Maggie built. It's called a weather rock. And the way it works is if the rock is wet, it's raining. The rock is moving, it's windy. So that's how you know. If what? If you can't see the rock, it's either nighttime or foggy. Yep. This is on the canoe trip. You should spend a week in a canoe with JP. Yeah, JP's face is just, oh my God. This is us invading Canada on the canoe trip. One side of the river was Canada, the other side was the US. We slipped over into the Canadian side a couple times. In fact, we did it 2 years in a row. And friendship bracelets on the canoe trip. Okay. Again, prior to 2019, we never had that. More food. These are pineapple upside down cakes. I don't know if you can make those out. Those are made in a Dutch oven on a fire. So it's pretty impressive. Did a really great job. Cutting some wood. Yes, I needed to get an action photo of you doing a scout thing. Not just friendship bracelets and food. And this is great because it looks like you have a cigar in your mouth. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's just a cool photo, that's all. And here you're helping your brother cut wood by balancing, counterweighting the log. And there's an action photo. Last canoe trip, her and Cameron were together, and she's not pleased, you can tell. More baking. This was, we had a bake-off one night, and this was the cake that the girls made. And again, fantastic. I don't have the one of the boys made because it's just not worth taking a picture of. It wasn't. It was horrible. Our action photo on the St. Croix River up in Maine. This is some crew action when you're participating in the crew activities. Crew 1923, which is another one of our scouting units here in town that the Troop 1 Stow alumni sponsors. Did some rock climbing and some bowling and some pizza eating. This was a ski trip up in Maine. That's Maggie, first on the left over there. There we go. And this is with Mr. Kerr doing your climbing merit badge, if I'm not mistaken. And John Kerr is here today as well. And this was your most recent troop activity on Friday night, the significant, what is it? Special Someone. Me and my Special Someone dance. Sorry. We called it Daddy-Daughter dance back in my day, and I understand. I just keep forgetting. We're going to slip back into your civilian life for a little while here, because there's some good photos. Oh, who's in the background? Oh. You did. Humphrey? I thought it was a capybara. I'm looking at it, that looks like a capybara. Where did she see a capybara? Okay. You look just about done. I'm done. You're 48 years old, Maggie. Congratulations. Some family outings. Yeah, I can tell by the fog. You both look like you're wearing wigs. Just saying. I don't have the Stingray one now. Okay. That's not the Grand Canyon, I can tell. Cayman. Gotcha. That's a totally different thing. This could totally be Grand Cayman. Yeah, okay. Yep, I can tell by the field. Okay, curl maintenance. Gotta have it. That's the Stingray picture, right? Am I right? That's the Stingray picture? Yeah, well, killed Steve Irwin. What are you gonna do, right? I hear you. That's Hale School. You can tell by the Eagle Project in the background. We're going to enter into a little phase here that we call, this is, I apologize, I'm in a church, but these are like the badass Maggie pictures. Like this is just Maggie being a right? Because there's a lot of those too. Look at that. There you go. I was gonna actually bring that. You made me a hook. You made me a little hook, and I was gonna bring it, and I totally forgot about it. Now until I saw the slide. This is blacksmithing at summer camp. More climbing. Shot put. Yeah, it's a good picture. Oop. Sorry, wrong button. Here you go. You're just dialed in. It is. And your target is significantly better than his. No, just kidding. Actually, they're both pretty good. There you go. Nice. Yeah. You do look like you're really focused on something here. Like, very intense. It's an intense look. Sweaty. No. And as a wrestler, and a pretty good one, I understand. I haven't seen you wrestle, but. And of course, you can't be seriously a bad you-know-what unless you went to West Point and camped in the snow with us 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was brutal, so kudos for surviving that. And of course, when the girls first joined our troop, one of the things they had trouble with, I don't say trouble with it, but was remembering the Scout Law. It's 12 points, and Cub Scouts, from the time they joined the troop, it's been drilled into them from the time they're 6 years old on. So the girls joining late didn't have that, so they had to memorize the Scout Law kind of on the fly. So they made up a little dance to remember it. Hopefully the sound works here. Oh, wait a minute. Sound should be on. Let's see if this works.
Okay, Scout Law. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
That was fantastic, honestly. They did it at a campfire for us one night, I think, like their first camp out, and they just made it up, like on the spot. This is how we're going to remember the Scout Law. It's great. No, that's never been done before. So, this is, we talked about Maggie's project, which you can see out here in the front of the church here. It's the little lending library. And this is her presenting to the board of, whatever they're called. What are they called? Board of Trustees for the church, presenting her project. So just part of what's entailed in performing an Eagle Scout project like this. Constructing the actual library itself, off-site for the most part. Getting a bunch of volunteers to going out to the site and digging the hole and putting the posts in. Mixing the cement. And in case you're wondering, she's supposed to be in charge of the project, so she's supposed to be leading other people in performing these tasks, and she did. Everybody else dug the hole, and she sat in it. So this was the post that it was placed on. It had to cure before they went ahead and placed it on there. So this was the day it was set up, and that's what it looks like today. So, Maggie, I want to say congratulations again. It's well worth it, I hope. It was certainly worth it from our perspective. Congrats. That's all I have. Sorry, that's
No worries. No worries. Thank you, Gary. The Scout movement is such a remarkable experience in every Scout's life. And Maggie, as you now become an Eagle Scout, you will be asked to assume a very solemn obligation to make your commitment, which is a lifelong commitment, as an Eagle Scout. So will Scoutmaster J.P. Benoit please take his place in front of the candidate to administer the Eagle Scout charge and oath.
Before I begin, I would like to invite all the Eagle Scouts in the audience to come forward and stand with Maggie as a symbol of scouting community. Due to the numbers of Eagle Scouts here today, I would suggest going up onto the and around. This is very impressive. Maggie, I have the honor to charge you to enter this Eagle Scout community. By pledging of the Eagle Scout oath before your fellow members, you will become a member of this impressive group. Though the words you use would be similar to those which you joined scouting, today they will mean more than they have ever meant in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred word of honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout, with the words which close the Declaration of Independence. Will the audience please rise? Maggie, Scout sign, and repeat after me, please. I, Maggie, reaffirm my allegiance
I, Maggie, reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of the Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training and examples,
to what?
my training and
My training
and examples, my rank and my influence,
my rank and my influence
to strongly count for better scouting
to strongly account for better scouting
and for better citizenship in my troop,
and for better citizenship in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
2. Audience may be seated. Thank you very much, Eagle Scouts. You may be seated. Will the Scout escort, proud Cameron Braun, please bring forward the candidates' parents, Aaron and Cece. By authority invested in me by the Mayflower Council and the National Court of Honor of Scouting America, it is my pleasure to pronounce you an Eagle Scout. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Live up to every task that you do and every office that you hold to the highest level of service. and you will leave behind you a record of which every Scout will be proud of. To the father belongs the honor of pinning on her uniform the badge of the Eagle Scout. Maggie, in recognition of the encouragement given to you by your parents, I'd like to ask you to present your mother with a token of your appreciation, the miniature eagle pin. Also ask you to present your father with a token of appreciation.
No promises.
Aaron and Cece.
Thank you, JP. It's now the part of the program to hear from some of our distinguished guests. Maggie, you can take a seat so you don't have to stand for this portion. I would like to invite the Honorable Kate Hogan to come up and read her recommendation, her commendation.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. Congratulations. And I have with me a resolution from the Massachusetts House of Representatives congratulating Margaret Maggie Braun on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, Scouting America. Whereas Margaret Braun is a member of the Stow Troop 1 of Scouting America, Margaret has earned the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout. Her leadership in constructing a little library, the Eagle Scout honor will be presented tonight, and the exemplary Margaret Maggie Braun has reflected great credit upon herself, her family, and her troop. This has been passed as a resolution by the House of Representatives, signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and by one of your biggest fans, Representative Kate Hogan, and myself. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Gary. I would like to invite select person Ms. Megan Birch McMichael to come and read her commendation. And you have to stand up again. You're doing great.
My name is Megan Birch McMichael. I am here as a representative of the Stow Select Board. As someone who, for someone who books are my professional life, I was very excited to see that your Eagle project was the Little Free Lending Library. I'm going to read you a quick letter from the Select Board, and then I'll read your commendation. We're all very, very proud of you. Dear Maggie, the Select Board of the Town of Stow congratulates you on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest rank in Scouting America, and for being the first female to achieve that rank in your troop. As an exemplary scout who has performed a number of services for the community, the board would like to acknowledge your accomplishments and express its best wishes for your continued success and involvement with the community. Achieving Eagle Scout status is an accomplishment of which you can be extremely proud. The board is confident that your experience as a scout will serve you well in your future endeavors. Select Board. And And this is a certificate of achievement presented to Margaret S. Braun in recognition of your achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Maggie, on achieving your goal and also becoming the first female Eagle Scout in your troop and in Stow. We are proud to have you as a member of our community and appreciate the service project that you completed in December 2024. You designed, built, installed, and provisioned a little free library for the First Parish Church in Stow. You worked with troop leadership and other community members in this effort to increase book access, inspire readers, and develop community connections. We wish you the best of luck in the future. And it's signed the Stow Select Board.
Thank you so much. There are also several commendations that we may not read. There's a commendation from Laurie Trahan, which is downstairs, that you can read after tonight's ceremony, as well as a commendation from the Lions Club. And Tony, are you here? Excellent. Would you come forward to present the commendation to Maggie?
Hello everyone, my name is Tony Nardone. I'm the advisor for Crew 23, and I am here on behalf of the Department of Massachusetts of the American Legion. Maggie, for you, I have a commendation signed by John C. O'Connor, Department Scouting Chairman for Massachusetts, Forgotten Country from the American Legion. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tony. I would now like to ask John Kerr, the Merit Badge Counselor for Troop 1, to... Thank you. I skipped ahead on my script. I'm so sorry, Brendan. Would you come forward to give your commendation? There's...
So, my name is Brendan Chetwin, and I'm here on behalf of First Parish Church of Stow and Acton to congratulate Maggie Braun on her accomplishment in becoming an Eagle Scout. I also want to thank her for the installation of the FBC Little Library, which stands proudly outside our church. It is a wonderful gift and will serve as a reminder of Maggie giving back to the community that has played such a large part of her life. I have actually known Maggie since she was born and have watched her to grow into the young woman she is today. To say she is a busy bee is an understatement. While her numerous activities resulting in us seeing less of her in recent years, she has demonstrated her connection to our community through her Eagle Scout project. For that, we thank you. I also want to acknowledge Maggie's parents, Cece and Aaron. Through their work and sacrifice, they have enabled Maggie's adventures, one of which culminates in today's ceremonies. Congratulations, Maggie, and thank you for making FPC part of today's celebration.
Okay, now, am I all right? Excellent, good. So, John Kerr, I would invite John Kerr, the Merit Badge Counselor for Troop 1, to come forward to present the flag of the United States. I apologize for the false alarm.
I get to go.
There you go. Okay, so right there.
As we honor our newest Eagle Scout, it's fitting to reflect on the powerful symbolism of the United States flag. The US flag is not merely a piece of cloth. It's a beacon of hope, of unity, and of freedom. It represents the sacrifices made by countless people who have fought and continue to fight for the principles of liberty and justice for all. Its 13 stripes represent the 13 colonies, the original colonies. Each of its 50 stars represents the state of the Union. Its colors are symbolic too. Red for hardiness and valor, white for purity and innocence, blue for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The US flag reminds us that despite our differences, we are all one nation, indivisible, committed to upholding the principles of equality, freedom, and opportunity for all, for everyone, regardless of color, creed, or any other distinction. The US flag means much to this particular immigrant. It has flown proudly outside my home in Stow since my son, also an Eagle Scout, joined the US Army. Every day, it affirms to me the conscious commitment that I made proudly in 2013 to become a naturalized citizen of this great nation. But perhaps most importantly, the US flag serves as a reminder of the responsibilities that come with the privileges of citizenship. It calls on us to honor the sacrifices of those who come before us by upholding the values of democracy, justice, and service to others. Let me restate that last part because of its crucial importance in these starkly polarized times. By upholding the values of democracy, justice, and service to others. Those values are deeply embedded in Scouting. They're made manifest on the journey to Eagle, and they're absolutely evident in the young people who attain that prestigious rank. Just as the US flag inspires us to strive for excellence and as a beacon of hope in our communities, so too does the Eagle Scout serve as an inspiration to us all. May the achievement of obtaining the rank of Eagle Scout remind us, all of us, of the importance of living lives of purpose and service, and to always endeavor to uphold the ideals that we hold so dear in our communities, our nation, our world, and our society. Maggie, your journey has been remarkable, and your future really does shine bright. May the symbolism of the US flag continue to guide and inspire you in all your endeavors. We present to you the flag of our nation, flown over the United States Capitol at the request of our US Congressional Representative, the Honorable Lori Trahan. Congratulations, Maggie.
I'm just going to take over now. So, all right. We have a special Scoutmasters presentation that has become a tradition in Troop 1 Stow also, and I'm pleased to present that as well. An old man traveling a long highway came at the evening, cold and gray, to a chasm vast and deep and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim, the sullen stream held no fears for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. "Old man," cried a fellow pilgrim near, "you're wasting your time in building here. Your journey will end with the closing day, you never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide, why build you this bridge at eventide?" The builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in the path I have come," he said, "there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This stream, which has been as naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. Good friend, they too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for them." Troop 1 Stow hereby presents to Maggie Braun the Bridge Builder Knife as recognition for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. It represents the sharp intelligence, pointed determination, and strength of character necessary to attain the Eagle rank, and symbolizes the lifelong bond between Scoutmaster and Scout. Presented on this, the 4th day of May, 2025. This award is presented in memory of Donald Benoit, the originator of the Eagle Knife tradition in Troop 1 Stow and an exceptional bridge builder. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thank you, Gary, JP, and Emily. I have to move us ahead here. I think at this point, everybody would love to hear a little bit from you. So Maggie would like to share a few words with everyone.
First off, thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you to Representative Hogan, Megan McMichael, and Reverend Cindy, and the entire FPC Fellowship for your support in not only sponsoring my project, but also answering the call to provision it with books. Also, thank you to Mike Butler at Butler Lumber for donating materials and also providing mentorship and taking the time to help me design the structure of the library so it lasts. Although I am very excited to be an Eagle Scout, I will say I'm not very excited to give this speech right now. But as my dad tells me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. The same goes for becoming an Eagle Scout. When I first joined Scouts, the beginning ranks were a review of the work I did in Girl Scouts, with the added struggle of tying knots. So many knots. I got to work with older Scouts like Robert and Max on Scout skills. They helped me understand how to be patient and work with the younger Scouts to teach skills. As the G Troop grew in Scouting experience, we were able to recruit Scouts like Jill Valentino and Jackie Whitney. And with each new G Troop member, we brought more perspectives into the troop. I have truly enjoyed the support I have gotten from all the adults. JP, thank you for being my buddy on my first canoe trip, which was very eventful. I earned my canoeing merit badge the hard way by helping rescue Brad and Kevin when they swamped their canoe in the rapids. You're welcome, by the way. JP, I'm sorry you lost your hat and glasses, but I was able to replace your hat, and I did get your pad on the way by. Gary, I don't know if you remember, but you were one of the first people to pick up a shovel when we started installing my Eagle project. And your quiet actions have helped the troop see me as a leader, and I thank you for that. Speaking of my path to Eagle, I want to thank Jeremy Dish. Your patience and understanding of how much paperwork sucks, along with a lot of great advice ahead of approvals and presentations I needed to give. Brad and John went the extra mile by helping with merit badges. Special thanks to John for his work with the G Troop on helping us earn our climbing merit badge, which is a lot more fun than the communication merit badge. As I mentioned in my Eagle Bird review, I have learned a lot during this project. One was that not everything goes according to plan. A lot of my building and installation was dependent on my family, specifically my dad and my brother. The weekend my dad and I planned to finish the work on my projects, my brother was in the hospital with a broken leg. I called Tom Vargo, and he immediately took 4 hours out of his Saturday to help me in his workshop. It helped me keep my mind off my brother and the surgery he was having the same day. Don't worry, he's all fine now. To my family and friends who have joined me here today, when my mom told me to invite the people that love and care about me the most, you were the first people I thought of. And that so many of you have made the effort to come today has really touched me. It made me realize I have managed to surround myself with many strong mentors and friends. I wouldn't be getting my Eagle today without your influence. In closing, Scouting has pushed me in many, many ways, but I have learned that the people surrounding you are more willing to step up and help, even when you don't know you need it, and I hope to be that person as I continue to learn and grow as a Scout. As everyone leaves today, feel free to take an Eagle Friendship bracelet to remind us all to do a good turn daily. Thank you.
Congratulations, Maggie. So would the color guard please return to the stage to prepare to retire the colors and close the ceremony?
I know it's not in the schedule, but I was wondering if you allow me to say a few things before you close.
Totally. So. The color guard's very happy that you gave him a break. There you go.
So, a lot of you know me, but also a lot of you probably don't. I am Maggie's current SPL, and I'm William Schneider, by the way. As Gary mentioned earlier, Maggie loves her food. She's always around it, and I wanted to say a couple of things about that. So she always comes in the right time with the right food, like on the canoe trips with the upside down cakes, and then on our freeze outs after it's -10 and we're knocking snow off our tents with warm breakfast sandwiches in the morning. So I just wanted to say thank you and that I really appreciate that. Congrats, Maggie.
I do hear that G Troop has upgraded the food quality at all sorts of scouting events. So with that, color guard, would you please come forward? And I would ask Maggie to lead us in reaffirming the Scout law. You could do it with a dance if you need to, okay? Would everyone please rise?
Scout sign, Scout law. On my honor, no, it's the wrong one. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
This Eagle Court of Honor is now concluded. Congratulations, Maggie. The Scouts can retire the colors, right? I think, yeah. And at this point, the only thing left to do is to celebrate Maggie with some very appropriate food. So, would all of you please join us for some dinner immediately following this ceremony downstairs, where you'll be directed by the Scouts, so don't worry about getting there. Thank you all for attending and supporting Maggie in this incredible celebration. If you have not signed the guest book or stamped the guest book, as it were, with your fingerprint, that will also be downstairs, and we'd like to ask you to find that as a memento of today. And as you leave, you can not only see the library out front, but that you're welcome to review Maggie's Eagle Project book and other scouting memorabilia. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations.